I'm Dana Gentry, Communications Director for SEIU. Today we're talking with John Piro. He's running for Assembly District 4. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
You are a public defender
Yes.
for Clark County. What are the big judicial justice issues that are coming before the legislature next year? I know that last session the legislature passed a life without parole measure that allows defendants who were previously convicted while they were minors of offenses that did not have any ability to be paroled, that this now allows them the potential for being paroled. Does that measure go far enough, do you think, or do you think there's something else that's going to be coming behind that?
I think there may be some adjustment with the parole boards and how those situations are handled. I don't know if that'll be handled through legislation or maybe different regulations, but I think that will be an issue that's up. Another issue that will be coming up before in a bill draft request that I'll be putting forward is to simplify the record sealing process. Right now, when somebody's convicted of a crime, it takes an extremely long time and the process is very onerous for them to seal their record. So it's difficult for somebody to get a fresh start. So what I would like to do is streamline the process so that people who have done the crime and have done their time can get their life back and move forward in getting a productive life by being able to get a job and become a member of society again by sealing their record.
You're already a public servant. Why did you decide to run for office?
I think that there was some changes that needed to be done, and I think that it was time to do it. I think the person that was previously in Assembly District 4 was rather upsetting to me in the way that she moved about trying to get legislation passed and wound up getting nothing passed, and I felt like that was a disservice to some of the voters in that district, so I felt that some changes needed to be done. Also, there were some serious attacks on PERS, and just like members at SEIU, I'm subject to PERS. I was a member at SEIU for 5 years. I've been at the Public Defender's Office for 4. I have close to 9.5 years in PERS, so that's an issue that's very serious to me.
And 241 is obviously going to be a big issue too. Other than gaining a majority, what can be done, do you think, to try to mitigate the circumstances of that legislation?
I think we're going to have to gain a majority, and I think we're going to have to...
Nothing short of that.
Well, I think we're going to have to reach across the aisle, and maybe there's somebody that we can convince on the other side as well.
So you do believe that there's an ability to reach across the aisle and to work with the other side?
I do, and I think that it's been underutilized in the era of partisan politics, and I think it needs to be more utilized.
Do you think your ability as an attorney and experience as a compromising person, do you think that would make you a better legislator?
I think it does, actually, and I routinely negotiate, and usually I'm on the weaker side of the bargaining table in negotiating, and somehow I wind up working out good results for my clients, and so I think that will be helpful in formulating ways that we can move forward together.
Are you out knocking on doors in your district?
Every day.
What are you hearing from people?
As far as their concerns, they're concerned about education and how we're going to spend the money that was recently allotted. A lot of voters in my district are also concerned about criminal justice reform and the solar panel issue, that ruling by the PUC, that I think we're going to need to fix right away.
What do you hear about criminal justice reform from people?
That people are spending too long and they're saddled too long with their criminal convictions. The penalties are too steep, and that we need to figure out a way to reintegrate these people and get them back into society and give them another chance.
What about marijuana? Do people on the
Nobody has been against it, so I think they recognize that it's going to be a tax base that will likely help the state.
As a public defender, are you in favor of the recreational marijuana measure?
I am, for two reasons. One, because of the tax base, and we'll be able to look at how Colorado and Washington have implemented it and take from their successes and utilize them for us. But two, it's going to remove low-level drug offenders from the jails, which it costs $125 a day to keep somebody in jail. So that will divert police resources from arresting low-level, non-violent drug offenders so that they can focus on some of the more serious crimes that are happening in the valley. And it will also save the taxpayers money by not having to house those people in the jail or the prison should they get convicted of a drug crime like that.
What are you hearing about education? Is opposition to vouchers or support?
There is opposition to the voucher system. I think people are concerned because it's taking money away from the students at the public schools. And so they're worried that it's only benefiting a select few.
All right. So is that something that you think you would want to tweak?
The voucher system? Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think the outlook is for that?
it really depends on who wins this election. So it's pretty important that we get out there and vote.
All right. Really appreciate you being here, Mr. Piro. Thanks so much.
No worries. My pleasure.
Thanks.